The Shepnaz Podcast begins now.
Welcome to the Shepnaz Podcast, everybody. Hey, welcome in today for everybody's favorite day of the week.
Worship Wednesday.
Yeah. And listen, we are setting quite the tone today, boys. Do you know why? Because these three lovely faces, well, wow, at least two lovely faces.
Don't tell us who's not.
Yeah.
He said these three.
He said at least two.
You're going to see some faces a lot this week. You're going to see some faces a lot this week. And for that, you are welcome. Well, welcome to Worship Wednesday. We have Noah, per usual. Thank you, my friend, for being here. And we got a little special man. Special man here.
Special treat.
Special
guest.
If you're watching last week.
I think this is my first Worship Wednesday appearance.
Is it your first?
Very.
Now, I need to
Not
ask.
for lack of asking.
I was going to say, we have tried so much.
I was watching your face just now.
What did it tell you?
Thank you.
That you've never watched.
What? Worship Wednesday?
Because when he clicked that Worship Wednesday button, you acted like you had never heard that sound
it's
ever.
Just
never
so
heard
jazzy.
You never heard it?
Yes.
Worship Wednesday.
Oh,
You made a face as
So
like
good.
as in like
Hey.
you were not expecting that. If you were a true Worship Wednesday listener, you would be expecting that.
Oh, I'm just happy to be here, guys.
It's his first
That's all
time
you
hearing
need
it
to
through
know.
these headphones.
Listen, it was just sounding weird coming through like these headphones.
Yeah.
Well, regardless of your attendance,
We're glad you're here.
we're so stoked you're here. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you know,
It's an honor.
A lot of people have been asking, but I just want to clarify. I was at one point going to be a little bit of a turd bird and trick you guys into both being on the podcast so that we could hash out the race. But after
Noah doesn't want to talk about
I know
it.
Noah is upset about it in a way. And so because I love my friend, I am not going to make you relive it yet again here in the podcast.
It's over.
It's for the best.
Done.
It is for the
We're
best.
still friends. We want to keep it that way.
Yes, 100%. But
Well done.
because of that, you have a discussion we need to have today to open us up before we dig into the meat of today's episode. And I am so excited for this conversation.
We might want to set a timer because this could go on.
We got to leave and like
the whole episode is going to be
we're
this
on a
question.
time crunch.
Yeah,
So.
but this is a conversation, an argument that me and my friends get in quite often because I think we'll get to it. But
Yeah.
I just want to ask you fellas, if it ever came down that today you went to your house, you had everything at your house, but everything went off. There would be no more electricity, no more running clean water, no supermarket. You couldn't go raid anything. It was what you had at your house. How,
Just at our house. Okay.
or like if you could make it to land, if you could leave, go to land, how long would you last? How long could you survive if you had everything that you needed, but you couldn't like go to the store, no running water? How long do you think you could survive?
I'm in it for the long haul, and I'll tell you why. So I have been mentally preparing myself for this day for the entirety of my life.
Yeah.
Not just
And
you though. You got children's.
I know.
Would they
Trust
just
me,
have
they're
to
ready.
be?
Oh,
They don't disappear either.
they're going to be ready. Now, granted.
You think you could have your family too?
Oh, yeah, dude.
For how long?
Forever. I have prepared
He's got a
myself.
bunker.
I have prepared myself for this day. Listen, I love camping. I love being outdoors. And because of that, I have accumulated.
You do have quite the.
I'm ready
Supply.
to go. Yes. Now, granted, there's a few things that would be tough, right? So I have,
Just a few.
Just a few. I do
Other
have
than the no water
Like
thing.
eating, drinking.
Well,
You
you think that, but I live on a property with well water. Therefore,
You need electricity for that.
not with a manual pump, you don't. And you can create a manual pump with natural suction and gravity and pipe, which I have all of those things.
Ready to go?
So how are you going to purify it?
Boil it on a pot over fire.
Here's how I will survive. I'm going to Zach's house.
There you go. I'm ready.
I said I think I could last 6 months.
I think you got more than 6 months in
my
you.
friends thought I was the craziest man alive for thinking that if it all went, that I would survive for 6 months.
Like that's long?
Like that's
How long
way
do
too
they expect
long.
to live?
Days, weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's part of my follow-up
How long do you think you would live?
Is this like chaos in the world, or is it just me?
It is. Imagine just the world was empty, but there was no store you could go to. You were just fending for yourself.
With other people?
No, nobody's chasing you. Nobody's
That's-
gonna kill
It's
you.
not like the zombie apocalypse.
No, this is like everything shut
man,
down.
we lost-
Everybody disappeared.
The grid goes down.
Yes.
The grid is gone.
Nobody's gonna come in and kill you or steal your stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes the discussion because
Or essentially you get
if it was
plopped.
hostile,
Or essentially you
I'm
get
out.
plopped in the middle of nowhere and you can have like 10 things. How long?
What I have a lot of things. That's what's going to help me. Now the question's totally different now.
Right.
yeah, because you said that with just the stuff we have at our house.
Yes, that was the initial thing.
But I don't think I would last more than 6 months. How would you kill any? I mean, yes, I have guns. I could shoot something. But even then, you got to harvest. You can't harvest it.
Why not?
What are you going to harvest it with?
A knife?
But like,
So this
where are you
is
going
like
to keep that leftover meat?
This is like Alone. You've seen the show Alone. Like that's the premise.
Yeah. And if you've seen the
you
show
just get
Alone,
dropped
Essentially.
in. Maybe we pick 10 items, whatever they are. Go.
you dig a hole, man.
Well, those
Colder
guys
underground. That's how you used to do it back in the
And
day.
there-
Or preserve it with fat.
There's no people like our families, or is it just us?
I'll say whoever's in your family now. So I would just have my
Oh, okay,
wife.
that's not bad because if you've seen the show Alone, like they usually tap out due to like psychological.
loneliness.
You don't think you're going to be psychologically spent after 3 days of dealing with your children and
With no,
you were
modern technology.
psychologically spent after the power outage we just had.
Yeah, that's true.
So imagine it worse and with no hope of it ever turning back on.
I'm a goner.
Nick's lasting 24 hours.
I'm a goner.
I would give myself 6 months.
Nah, I'm
Well,
in it
just-
for the long haul, baby.
Just based off of like probably how long your body can go. Probably that.
How it's really about mental. How long can you really push yourself to see? But
How long,
like, I
how long
wouldn't
can you
have
go without water?
7 days.
you got a pond. And it's going to rain.
But that's nasty. That's sick. That'll make you sick.
Not if you boil it. You got to boil it, man.
See, but I don't think I could get a fire up and running.
Why not? You can't rub sticks together?
No.
Friction fire?
It's not that easy.
You don't have
think.
matches at your house?
No, I have gas. But then that's going to run out
You don't have matches at your house
I have lighters. Can we use lighters?
until they run out.
until they run out.
All right.
You have enough
I need
matches
more.
to last you 80 more. How old are you? 50 more years?
Man, I hope I make it 50 more years. That'd be impressive. With my track record, I ain't gonna make it that long, but
Anywho.
I'm confident. If it was the stuff at my house, I'm confident.
And then if you're plopped out in the middle of nowhere with 10 things?
I mean, I don't know. It'd be difficult. I don't know if I could put a number on that one.
Days.
Days?
Days.
I think I could last. If I could
However
have-
long without water.
Water would be the
Well,
hardest
if you
part.
could find water and you just have like your
Well, yeah,
little-
that's a big if
you have
though.
your-
If I had water.
if you have your
If.
if you have your little filtration thing, like the Outdoor Boys, his is perfect. The gravity pulls
Yeah,
the water
gravity.
down.
I've seen that.
All you need is a pot.
So that would definitely be one of them.
But what? Never mind.
I think where we need to maybe take a break, come up with some ground rules here. Like you say 10 things. Well, that changes the game.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, how long could you survive? Well, the stuff at my
Even
house.
the
do
stuff
I have
in my
to-
house, I don't think
The stuff at my house. I don't know.
Other-
I could start fire
Yeah.
With what?
with a lighter.
Okay, what happens when that goes out?
You can still use a spark.
I'll go
from it.
chop a tree.
And then do what with it? Just shake it together?
I'll keep it going for my life.
Make fire, chop tree.
Like, oh, so you're saying as long as you have a source, you would be able to maintain it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm close to Gahanna campus property. So,
Until, God forbid, it goes out.
I mean, that's a lot of trees out there. I think would last my lifetime.
Yeah, like what if you fell asleep one night and it just kindled out?
I'd still have my lighter.
Or a big gust of wind.
Later.
I have my
Jesse
lighter.
comes and pours water on it. Oh yeah.
Yikes. Yikes.
Jesse. I'll have a talk with him later.
Well, listen, I love this conversation more than anything on the planet, and I could do this for the rest of the day. But we are officially 10
we
minutes
are at
in
time crunch.
and have not talked about
anything.
anything worshipy. So, no, you did have something for us that was.
Yeah.
I think we should do another podcast episode where that's the only topic of conversation. But we'll
Yeah, maybe we'll come
That's
back with some ground
Shepnaz Podcast, like after hours or something.
outdoor men,
rules. Outdoor boys.
outdoor boys 2.0.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, the question I have for you, this is a real question. Have you ever just checked out during a worship service because you didn't like the songs?
Nope.
Never?
Never have.
Never?
Don't know what you're even talking about.
I think at least initially, like I can get along with pretty much any type of song. Like through my schooling at Mount Vernon, we had to go to different worship type of services of all different kinds of cross. There was all different expressions of worship. And I still found meaning in all of those, able to connect with God and worship in ways I was like, this is different. But so that's my initial reaction. But I think there's probably, if I thought
Better
more,
than me.
I was just saying, I wish I was like Nick. I want
Yeah.
to be Nick when I grow up.
I won't out the conference or anything, but we went to a conference and it was an older gentleman leading the worship, and so it was just not my style. You know, the sound just wasn't good.
Yeah.
And for the first, I think it was, how long was that? 3 days. The first day and a half, like I didn't get anything out of the worship.
Yeah.
And it was kind of more of a gut check halfway through and kind of a convicting moment where the Lord just asked me why. Like
Yeah.
I was just sitting there listening and kind of absorbing, and just came to my question of why am I not getting anything out of this? And it was purely because I didn't like the songs or the style they were played in. And so that's kind of the examples that you kind of play with on, okay, when you get in this mindset, well, why would that even happen? And it's either you don't know the song,
Yep.
you don't like the style, or you don't like, the song being sung. Like if I hear Good Father again, I
Right.
probably won't. That's one that I'm just like, every time it comes on, I'm like, oh man,
really?
You don't like it.
can't hear it again.
Oh, okay.
So
Where'd Noah go? Oh.
nice. They must be playing Good Father.
Walk into a Hobby Lobby and just
Yeah.
walk straight out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the part I want to talk about is, what if this isn't about our preference, but about our posture of worship?
That's good. Yeah. Yep. I would definitely say I have learned over the years how to initiate worship in environments that I'm not stoked to be in. Because I've been in quite a few where I'm like, this is terrible. And I am not connecting with God whatsoever. And I remember having a very similar gut check of like, are you going to waste an opportunity to connect with me? This is God picking at my heart. Like,
Yeah.
are you going to waste an opportunity to talk with me and encounter me because of your preferences? It's like, look at scripture and look at all the stories of when people had encounters with God. It was not because they were comfortable. It wasn't because they were in the perfect, comfortable environment that they enjoyed. It's because they chose to worship him no matter what their environment was.
Yeah.
And so over the years, I have learned there are times where I need to suck it up and put my preferences aside. But there are also times that I've been in worship scenarios where it's like, this is so bad. Like it's distracting. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I have learned is, we talked about it on the podcast a million times. Worship is not music. We worship to music. We worship with music, but we don't worship because of music. And so I've learned in those seasons, in situations where it's like, all right, this is so bad. I need to just meditate on the Lord for a little bit. And I have to like purposely try to shut out the audio going on in the room. And whether that's like I sit down and bow my head, or I will close my eyes and just put my head down and, try to disengage with what's happening in the room. And I think it probably for all three of us, but maybe more so for you and I, because it's what we do on a regular basis, is like we notice everything.
Yeah.
And whether we like it or not, it's like, oh, I'm noticing the lights. I'm noticing the sound. I'm noticing how messy the stage is. I'm noticing what kind of instruments they're playing. Like I'm unfortunately visually like attracted to all of those things. And I have to shut that off in my brain when I go into worship, because if I don't, I will never be able to get my mind off of it.
Mm-hmm. I think as I think more about the question, there's definitely like songs and worship sets that I would say like don't emotionally, like I don't emotionally connect with.
Okay.
I'm thinking of some of the more modern stuff to where it's like super upbeat.
Right.
And you'll see like people jumping around and like, it's just not really my personality. So not that I dislike the song or dislike the message behind it, but I don't have that. Like, yeah, it's definitely not my preference.
Yeah.
But on the like other side of things where people would say the same things about like hymns on a piano, perhaps like,
Right.
yeah, that's not like, I grew up in that. So I'm still able to worship and connect with God even through those, even though they might not be my preference. It's still able to be an avenue to worship.
Yeah.
So
It's a weird thing to talk about because we often say, worship is not about us, it's about God.
Right.
But then basically every response we have is based on ourselves and who we are. And I think of that Revelation kind of 4 and 5 scene where it's that angels around God and the elders are around God and they're forever singing, Holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. And it really convicts me because then I start thinking, well, that's all they're saying for eternity and have been singing that since, as far as we know, the beginning of time.
Right.
And so if I don't like the song, it basically makes my worship less worthy or God less worthy. And it's just a terrible place to be.
Yeah.
And so,
Not where you want to stick around.
no. And so it's really, you have to reframe your mind pretty much every time you have to come into worship or every time you do worship. And
oh, definitely.
especially if it's in a different venue or a different place that you've not been in, or you're not familiar with the people on the stage or how they worship, or maybe they worship a little differently than you, a little more outwardly, and you're kind of distracted by that.
Yeah.
But what this kind of gave us was worship is not concert, performance, or emotional experience only, but it is offering, surrender, and attention toward God.
Yep. Man, that's good. That's good. And not in a way that like always makes you feel good to hear that.
Yeah.
Because so often, especially in, modern worship times, is like people connect with the way it makes them feel.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to articulate.
Right.
Like, I don't, get those
This isn't
emotional.
moving me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not crying during this
Now
bridge.
there are certain worship songs that do, and not that one's better than the other, or less than because of that. But it's a good distinguishing thing to think about.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Sorry, I was going to say something.
Oh,
but
no, go ahead.
No, it's just commenting on what you said about, what heaven's going to be like. One of my favorite things that people, when people say how they feel about certain worship songs, and one of the things I hear often is like, I hate how much like worship songs just repeat the same line over and over again. Like how many times somebody said that and be like, you're going to hate heaven. Like, it's going to be a bummer when you get to heaven.
Well, and it just shows just how potentially far we've come.
Yeah.
That we leave churches because of that type of stuff.
Right.
Like we leave churches because the worship isn't our style or our particular preference, or we didn't connect enough. Like, and when you really wrestle with that, like that's a pretty, I don't know if it hurts the Lord. I don't want to speak for the Lord or anything, but like I would imagine that grieves the heart of God that like you would leave a congregation and a group that you love because of a preference. And it just is, it's really hard to think about. But I wrote down a couple things that we can kind of dissect with how we can get past this. You know, if I'm in a worship set and I find myself disengaged, or I find myself not connecting and I don't really care for what's being sang with a preference style, whatever. But the first one is focus on truth and not style. Is this song true about the nature of God? And is this true to the worship of God?
That's good.
And then in that same way, turn that truth or those lyrics that are being sung, you know, really kind of question, are these true? Are these God? But then turn those into a prayer. You know, if it's a new song and you don't know what the melody is, or you don't know, maybe too high for you to sing or whatever, it's, you know, whatever the reason is, personalize that into a prayer. Make what's being sung into a prayer. And then choose discipline over feeling. I'll worship until my heart catches up.
That's good, man. That's good. Those are some really good takeaways, my friend. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this enthralling conversation about survival, not just in an apocalyptic situation, but surviving a worship set you might not like.
Yeah.
Look at that. Perfect tie-in together. For real, though, some great takeaways, because, you know, if we are relying solely on our preferences, we are not going to be connecting with the heart of God. You know, it's not about our preferences. It's about giving him what he deserves, and that's honor and glory and worship. We hope that this episode has inspired you, and we just want to say thanks, Pastor Nick, for being on today's Worship
thanks
Wednesday,
for having
man. We finally got
I'll
him.
see you in a year.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Well, have a good week. We'll talk to you next time.
This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.